this is a working session, not an executive session, but we will be voting on these bills. And so accordingly, we'll begin. Concerning House Bill 217 relative to absentee ballots, is there a motion?
I move we make the bill ought to pass.
Is there a second?
Yes, I will second.
All right, thank you. So the motion is ought to pass. It has been seconded. Is there any discussion on the bill? That Representative Lane.
I can't reach my mic. Little short arms. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're going to be voting against this bill on a policy standpoint primarily, but we would also, and I think it's noted in the report, that we also think that to have a better bill, it should be amended to include for the voters who are in jail, that the correctional officer or the administrator should be able to verify and I don't know, it's not really notary, but to affirm what the voter is doing so that that ballot can be counted correctly and accepted. So I don't like waiting because that means that there's going to be some more elections that they won't get to vote in, but hopefully we can fix that next year. Thank you.
Yeah, that just for clarification, the report did suggest a bipartisan bill next year to amend that. It does say other and similar facilities or something. I forget the exact wording. So that should certainly not be construed as prohibiting that from any correctional facilities. And as we heard testimony the other day, there's sometimes around 85% that detainees that have not been formally charged. So we certainly want to address that. I do think the existing language covers it. I think there could be language to clarify and improve that. I believe it or not, I ran out of bandwidth to do the amendment. Again, I suggest that we just take that up as a bipartisan bill next year. Next year, and I'm happy to work with. I think all the members of this subcommittee would like to work together on that, I believe. So let's take a vote. I'll try and do this in alphabetical order. It's a bit of a challenge here. All right. Let me just also make sure I'm doing the correct.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Yes. All right. I've already made a mistake, which Robin can shoot me for, but that's okay. Okay, excellent. All right. Okay, so all right. So the motion is ought to pass. Representative Burnham.
Yes.
Challenge my ability to do an alphabetical order. Representative Lane.
No.
Representative Newsom.
No.
Representative C.
Yes.
The chair votes yes, and with that, it passes 3-2 out of the subcommittee as ought to pass recommendation for the full committee. All right. right, we now have before us House Bill 289 regarding domicile qualifications for voting. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to retain.
All right, Representative Burnham makes a motion to retain. Is there a second? Thank you, Representative Lane. Is there any discussion? I think we're, retain, for anyone who may be watching, retain would allow us to work on the bill over the summer, and when we meet again beginning in November, we would act on the bill then with probable amendments, and would then the House would begin to act on it in full in the January timeframe, in case people were wondering what the retained process is. So is there any other discussion? Seeing none, we will take a vote. Representative Burnham,
Yes.
Representative Lane,
Yes.
Representative Newsom,
Yes.
Representative C,
Yes.
Representative Wary, or Chairman Wary, votes yes, so that is 5-0. All right, and that was House Bill 289. We now have before us House Bill 323, requiring the presentation of a government-issued photographic means of identification in order to vote. I would, well, we'll get to the discussion. Is there a motion for that?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to retain.
Representative Newsom?
I'll second that.
Thank you very much. All right, so the motion is to retain. And is there any discussion on this bill? All right,